So one of the things that I got asked a lot when I was a kid was, do you know any songs? Because honestly, all I did was sit around and learn licks and picked out single note things and experimented. And so I was just, I guess people would call it noodling. But that's how I learned to play guitar. I noodled. I would even turn on a record, and instead of memorizing the record, I would learn to play things along with it and kind of find my own way. And so consequently, people would say, do you know any songs? And I really didn't. I would learn intros to songs. I would learn licks within songs, but didn't really learn songs. And I look back and I realize now in my journey of guitar of almost 60 years of playing, that I have no regrets in not learning songs per se, because I've discovered something, and people ask me, how do you learn guitar? Do you know some place I can get lessons, or what's a good way for me to learn? And I tell them this, I said, imagination is your best teacher. So the best thing you can do is let your mind take you places with the guitar. And let me preface that by saying that having a foundation is a good thing. Learning chords, learning some scales if you want, and obviously listening to great players and pulling bits and pieces from them. But ultimately, you want your imagination to pull from this collective knowledge that you've accumulated over the years and come up with your own voice and your own sound. It's kind of like if you had 3 or 4 colors to paint with. Yeah, you can do beautiful things on a canvas, but when you start adding different hues and textures and different colors, it really enhances the painting. And ultimately, that's what we want to do with our music. And ultimately, we want our own vocabulary. So basically what I'm saying and summing this up is, don't be as clinical as maybe you might be pushed into doing. And well, I'm working on my scales, which I'm not against that. But ultimately you want to play from your imagination and what inspires you, and try things, bend notes, use your bar, try different sounds, and find your own way and developing your own voice. And then when someone asks you at some point, like now I've got a lot of CDs out and I write tunes, and people say, can you play a song? Yes, I can. But it kind of took me a long time to get here, and ultimately I've accumulated enough knowledge to create my own music. And ultimately that's what you want to do, to no matter to what level that you arrive at in terms of technical prowess on the guitar, fretboard gymnastics or whatever. It's all great. I love it all. But ultimately finding your voice and making music, because everything's about the song. And I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.